Hello and welcome to the Trial On podcast. I'm your host, Bose, my co-host, Denny.
The People's Host, thank you.
7 of 8 this week, mate. 7 of 8.
Yeah, mate, it was looking good for the only one I got wrong was the Broncos game. It was looking good at halftime, but
Yeah.
anyway.
I couldn't believe it. The unthinkable's happened. The kitty has gone off. We've given away $100. That would have already happened on Instagram. We would have went live. That'll be after this, but before you see it. So that's a little bit confusing. But I thought we'd talk about the Storm. Then we'll get into a little bit of Origin chat. I know that's a sore spot for you.
Not
And
really.
then we'll get into the games, which will lift you back up again because the Eels had a good win this week. But
They did.
let's start by talking about the Storm. How good have they been?
Mate, they've been awesome. I've run the numbers. They're averaging 37 points per game this season, win or loss. So that's just
Yeah.
unbelievable. To think they lost Cameron Smith, arguably the greatest player ever, and still be number one in the comp, well, at least on the ladder. They just haven't
Well,
missed a beat this season so far.
well, they lost Inglis a while ago. You thought there's got to be some drop off. Then they didn't. They lost Cooper Cronk, no drop off. They lost Billy Slater, no drop off, and now Cam Smith's gone, and arguably they've gotten better. And I've had a look too. They're that good in attack. Not only what are we around 18 this week?
Yeah, I think so, around 18.
So they're currently sitting on 632 points, right? No team in the competition has ended on that many points in the last 16 years. And we're not even done. We still got like 7 rounds left. And they're already on that. No team has finished on that. The last team to get close to beat that was the Eels in 2005. They finished on 676. So odds on that the Storm go past that this week.
Who they got this week? They got the cow.
The
They got the
Cows.
cow. Sorry, mate. That's a 50 plus there.
Yeah, well, they're leading the league in scoring, obviously in tries, in goals. Um, the just a sidetrack here. The Bulldogs, they're equal with them in set completions. The Bulldogs one of the best completers in the comp. Them, the Panthers, and the Storm are all on 80%. They lead the league in support runs, in line breaks, decoy runs, try assists, dummy half runs, line break assists. They lead the league in all those stats. They can attack from everywhere on the park. I think Justin Olam is probably the form center in the competition. He's a lunatic. Remus Smith, who was a middle of the road kind of player, he's gone there and taken his game to another level. Which how often do you hear that about the Storm?
Once every
Nico
year.
Hines. I don't even know who Nico Hines was a year and a half ago. He made 18th man for Origin this year.
Hmm.
He won't even make the side when Pappenhausen's back. He'll be
No,
on the bench.
no. Well, I saw this post actually on Facebook, I think, and it said Nico Hines hasn't played a minute in grand final or Origin. Yet
Saw that.
he's lifted pardon me, the NRL trophy in the Origin Shield. So
Which is crazy to think about. But just shows not only is there a divide in the competition, because there obviously is, but they are. You can only beat what's put up in front of you, and they are really just putting every team to the sword. And I'm really not excited for the Cowboys to come up against them this week.
I heard that Pappenhausen might be a chance to return this week as well. So
Of course
yeah,
he would. Of course
and
he would.
and how far is Harry Grant off? Surely he might be in for a return shortly too. But like,
See, that's crazy. They've done it without Pappenhausen, without Harry Grant, which is two of their best players. You'd think Brandon Smith might be one of the form players in the competition right now as well. He's killing it. Jerome Hughes, bro. He wasn't even a halfback when he went there. Wasn't even a halfback.
mm,
Now he's one of the better halfbacks in the competition. So they're just killing it. Good on them. Craig Bellamy's an absolute genius. Let's get into something that I really want to talk about. I've been excited for this ever since the last time we seen each other was Wednesday. I've been excited for this ever since. What happened last Wednesday night, Denny? You told me that they would lose by 30. So what happened?
they should have. Well, what actually happened was New South Wales won State of Origin.
Yes,
Let's just get out of the way.
2-1.
Yes, 2-1. Should have been 3-0, but the refs,
Well,
man.
you tell me what happened.
Now, I thought that you brought up a few good points in your TikTok actually about how after halftime, Azalea went short to Payne Haas there when they would have
Yeah.
had a 4-on-3 or 3-on-2, whatever on the outside, with Tedesco, Turbo, and the Fox.
Yeah, that's a try.
Going up against what's his name, Brimson,
Brimson and the
and the
Hammer.
Hammer. Yeah, like that. I don't understand what happened there. Like, why going short there? I mean, I know Payne Haas he's probably one of the better forwards in the comp, but come on.
And I think that you got to put it down a little bit to Munster pushing up, but they've got to play that. They've got to play that pass. They've got to take the odds there and get it to Mitch Moses for a tip on. Because then, not only have they already scored, if they scored there, like Queensland they're already down. You know what I mean? They've been smashed in both two games. You kind of break them there, and then I think New South Wales run away with it. Although Queensland were really good. A lot of people talked about the refereeing. While I don't think it was great, I do not think the refereeing was great. New South Wales can't use that as an excuse. They actually had a better penalty count and 6 again swing in this game than they did in any other game. This was the best for them. In game 3, it was only +3 to Queensland. In game 2 and game 1 was +4 and +7. So to Queensland. So New South Wales actually had the best rub of the green in this game compared to any other game in the series.
It all
And
adds
you
up,
didn't,
mate. It all
yeah, but
adds up.
you didn't blame the referees in any other game. I thought where Queensland were good, they had their best completion rate of the series, least missed tackles, highest kicker run return meters. I thought their back three were really, really good. Valentino's was outstanding in the first half. I thought while Dane Gagai still missed some tackles, I thought his intensity in defence was really good, putting pressure on whoever he was trying to defend there. New South Wales actually had the most ball in this game that they had in the whole series too. So what do you make of that?
Well, what I'd put that down to is the halves. So, I'm going to agree with you. Queensland did play well. Like they played well.
There you go.
Thanks,
I wish I could get up the text that I got from you that night because you were so in denial that night. But I knew, and I was even saying that to you. I knew you had nothing because you were talking about the referee, and you're not like that. It's the lowest excuse blaming the referee. You got to look internally, and I thought New South Wales weren't great. And what you were going to say about the halves there, or Mitch Moses in the first half was really quiet, like happy to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And while I don't think they played bad, I don't think either of them played bad. I thought Jack Whiten, on the other hand, he ran the ball a lot because that's what he's going to do. But he needed to look for a pass, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing here's the problem I have with Jack Whiten. Well, that I had with him on that night anyway.
Yep.
So he, as you said, he'd run far too often. But on fifth tackle, when you got to find a kick, pin him down in their own end, he'll try and flick it off to Latrell and then hope that he does something special. I think he didn't have to try and look for that miracle play every single time they were down in Queensland's end. Just get those repeat sets, build some pressure.
I thought when he went over, he looked for that try like 10 times. Like he really, really looked for that dummy left off the left foot, try and score. I think he caught and passed early, and Latrell beat Gagai, which he'd been doing all series. Like he beat him cold, and I felt like that was probably the option. And they had to get Tommy 1-on-1 with AJ Brimson. They done it once.
Yeah,
they don't want. That's terrible.
Well, as I say again, I think it's down to the halves. Mitch Moses had never played in Origin. I mean, I wouldn't say that there was a whole lot of pressure on him, but I think it's just his inexperience playing with those players that he had to find his outside men a little bit more.
I think he had to demand the ball a little bit more too. I think he had to maybe step up and just have the confidence to say, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go with Tom. We're going to go at Brimson. We're going to isolate these two players because I guarantee Nathan Cleary would have done it. I reckon they would have had a field day. While Brimson only had to make one tackle, so we really don't know how well he played out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he had to make 5 tackles in the whole second half. One of it was a 1-on-1 tackle, so he did play well. I thought the Hammer played well. I thought Queensland's forward pack was really good, but I thought New South Wales were very, very poor, and only went down by 2. So it's not all bad, but good signs for Queensland, I reckon.
Okay, signs for Queensland.
What do you think about them? I hate that they don't lift the shield after game 2.
Yeah, no, I think they once the series is wrapped up, you got to lift the shield. I think you should lift the shield.
Way better to lift it after a win than a loss.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me. Anyway, let's get into the games. Go Queensland.
No. Alrighty, into the games. We had the Eels beating the Titans 26 points to 8 in this one. It was a pretty close game up until Kevin Proctor went for 10 in the bin for his lifting tackle on Isaiah Papali'i. And then after that, everything kind of just fell apart. Not Titans, Eels went on and scored 3 tries in the time that he was off. And something else, David Fifita going off early as well, having a rest. I don't understand why he's going off like early in club level and Origin. Like I think
I don't know.
he's got to be playing the 80. He's probably the most damaging back rower all I've ever seen, attacking wise.
I wonder if it was a little bit like just rest him after Origin. I don't know. Why play him at all then? I thought 14 points while Proctor was in the bin was huge, and they had a try disallowed early, which was fair enough. But they were attacking the line. They looked really good, the Titans, but good on the Eels. I thought Dylan Brown scored a good try. It showed a lot of speed busting through the line there.
Oof. Off the mark too, man. He just burnt, who was it, Tino and whoever's on the outside, Ash Taylor or something. I don't know.
I had a look at the Titans run forward. If they're going to make the 8, they only play 3 teams currently in the top 8 for the rest of the year. So they're probably going to have to win at least one of those games to make the 8. So that'll be very interesting to see.
I mean, I'd be interested to see, to see.
I think one of those teams is the Dragons too, who are just holding on. So they really play 2 genuine top 8 sides for the rest of the year.
All right. Well, yeah, I'd be keen to see how they go. Anyway, so speaking of the Dragons, Manly beat them 32 points to 18.
Great win for Manly.
Yeah, great win. A bit of a back and forth game to start. It was kind of like a bit of an arm wrestle, and then I don't know what happened. Manly just came out on top, I guess.
I thought Kieran Foran was really good. They had no Tommy, no Jake, no Cherry Evans. That's pretty much all their strike.
Yeah.
I thought Foran was really good. Shcuster was outstanding.
Oh, how silky is he?
He's so silky.
Bro.
There was one play though. I thought Salome was really good for the Dragons. He's definitely get rid of Dufty. He's the fullback.
Yeah.
He's had a good couple of weeks. There was one point because I think Willie Army went off and Billy Burns had to play center.
Yep.
They were on their try line. The Dragons were on their try line, and it's when Brad Parker scored that try, and it was kind of like I don't know who ran the decoy, but he kind of drifted left, and Brad Parker went up the middle. But I was having a look, and the Dragons numbered up like correctly for that play. It was 4-on-4, but Billy Burns marked no one. Like if he had just looked up, he would have seen Brad Parker was not in front of him. He stayed in the center position, and Brad Parker had gone infield. Yeah. So Ben Hunt pretty much had 2 players running at him, and he made the wrong call, and old mate went through untouched. But they defended that well. Like they had 4-on-4, but Billy Burns just didn't look up. If he had looked up, he could have squeezed in a little bit. They would have defended that play, and that was a pretty big moment. Brad Parker going over. So unlucky there for the Dragons. They got another couple of weeks. They'll miss a couple of players going forward. So yeah, I think they're in for some tough games ahead, especially because they're trying to fight for the 8. I don't think they'll hold on.
No, me neither. Just on a side note here, I think you picked the margin in this one, didn't you?
I think you did too.
Well, no, here's the thing. Cherry Evans got ruled out late, so I'm like 14 points. I think they're going to be 1 try short here. So I changed my margin to 10, from 14 to 10.
Yeah, well, I Manly by 14.
You're a bastard. Anyway,
going all right.
On to one of the better games of the round. Roosters defeat the Cowboys, 34 points to 18. Cowboys looked pretty good for the first 20, then fell off a cliff.
I thought they were all right the whole first half. I thought they were pretty good. Now, the end of the first half, we give away a dumb penalty. They go down our end, and with like 90 seconds to go, they go over. If we can go in 12 all instead of 16-12, I think they take a lot of confidence out there and maybe changes some things in the second half. But that killed them. It deflated the crowd. It deflated them right on the stroke of halftime. After I thought they played like a really good first half. I thought Dearden and Drinkwater probably their best game together.
Yeah.
And then it was game over after that. It's so many times you see a try on the stroke of halftime that just kind of ends your game.
Yeah, that happened actually a couple times this weekend. Actually, tries on halftime that kind of killed teams.
I thought that really, really hurt the Cowboys, but I thought I was the best tipper ever when they were up 12-0.
Yeah, I was thinking. Look, well, I saw 12-0 and I was like, oh, hold on,
Hang on.
they
But
might be
weren't
onto
they were
something.
up 12-0 against Manly a few weeks ago too? They ended up getting 50 put on them.
They did too.
Yeah, so they've done that a couple times. The Cowboys.
Fast starters, but can't finish the job.
That's me.
You're a fast starter.
I'm a fast. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like start to finish.
I'm not even a fast. I'm just
No,
I'm a nothing.
you're a non-event.
Yeah, but I had a question for you actually. Jason Taumalolo, he's playing a little bit more minutes. He went and played 60 on the weekends. Do you
Mm.
think that's enough, or does he need to be on the field longer?
Okay, so I talked to someone at work about this, right?
Yep.
What you do, this is how I'd play him. I'd give him 70 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd play him the first 40 flat. You play him the first 40, then you rest him for the 10 minutes after halftime. So he gets the 15-minute halftime break
Yep.
plus the 10 minutes after halftime. Then you bring him on for the last half an hour. That's 70 minutes. He plays 40 flat straight away, has like a 25-minute rest, and then plays the last 30.
Okay, I like that. What if the
And then
Cowboys are up big time? Like
no, well,
top
then you
20?
take him off. Like if the Cowboys are up by like more than 2 tries, then you take him off and you rest him. You know what I mean? But I don't think we're going to be up by more than 2 tries against too many sides this year. But I just think he gets his rest, and the team would know they only have to hold on for 10 minutes, and then he's back.
Mm.
That's only 5 sets of 6 in defense if you hold the ball. You know what I mean? So that's not too bad. That's what I was saying the other day. So you play him 40, you rest him for 10, which is also a 15-minute break in the halftime, and then you play in the last 30.
All right, yeah, no, I think that's what he was doing back when Paul Green was the coach, and that seemed to be working really well. So,
Will someone get me Todd Payton's phone number? I'll call him, and I'll pussy out because I've seen him at the airport, and
yeah,
he's kind of a big human.
mate, I did not know how big he was. He's
Oh,
huge.
he's a big
Yeah,
human.
he's built. He's built
He's
different.
been built.
Yeah, he's been built like
Wait, was he still in ISO this week? He was,
he
He'd done a
was. Yeah,
2 week.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's only just come back now. So he's lucky. He's lucky I didn't see him out.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway,
on to one of the upsets of the round. It's the Raiders defeat the Sharks 34 points to 18 as well. I think this is the Raiders that a lot of people have been expecting like them to be for the pretty much the entire season. Their forwards played really well. I think they really dominated up the middle there. Who'd have got Ryan Sutton, Hudson Young, Corey Harinara, Emre Gula, Joe Tarpany. They all had over 100 meters, ton of
yeah, that's gun.
offloads. And Xavier Savage, the rookie fullback, I think he really what's that word I'm looking for?
I think he's a point of difference.
Yeah, he really benefited those forwards kind of laying that platform for him.
But I was thinking about Xavier Savage. We identified a possible reason why they had fallen off a little bit because Charles went down. They didn't have enough flair back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, he's brought that in spades. Like anytime he gets the ball, he looks like really dangerous because he's got a lot of speed.
yeah,
And that troubles defenses. You know what I mean? So I think
especially tied defenses.
exactly. And if your forwards are going forward, and you've got one of the best sixes going around at the moment, Jack Whiten, when he's good, that's a good little team they got going there. So I really hope they can string some wins together and still make the 8, mostly because I tipped them to make the 8, and I don't love getting my tips wrong. But what do you make of the Sharks? They went from winning 4 in a row to losing 2 of their next 3 against sides they probably should have taken care of if they're going to play finals footy.
Right, well, they lost to the Broncos were 15th, and then I think the Raiders were 10th.
Yeah.
So, and that's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks you've running, I think.
No, so I think they had a win in between that.
Did they beat?
I think they won 2 out of the last 3. They might have beat the Cows.
Or did they beat the Broncos? No, the Broncos beat them. Yeah,
No,
okay.
Broncos beat them. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I had a look at their run home anyway. They're only playing one top 4 side for the rest of the year.
So
that's a great run home for them.
Yeah, great run home for them. But yeah, a good win for the Raiders. So I hope they can make the 8 as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the Storm beating the Knights 48 to 40. 48 to 4. 4 games in a row for Melbourne that they've put on 40.
I don't know what to say. Their best attacking weapon in Ryan Papenhuyzen still got to come back into the side. What do you make of that?
Mate, they don't need it.
Can any team beat this side though? Really?
I don't even think Penrith could beat them at the moment.
The way they're going, I can't say anyone beat them.
Yeah.
I know Para and Penrith beat them back to back early in the season, but
Yeah.
this feels like a different team than then.
No, it is like somehow every year they just adjust perfectly.
I was talking to someone on Instagram the other day, and they said, "Oh, well, they've had a pretty light run, and they've played more top eight sides than South and Para so far. They've played eight. They've both played seven. So I wouldn't say they've had that softer run. I'll tell you what they do. They find value for money because Olam, I reckon Olam's one of the best centers in the competition right now. He's
Yep.
probably on $150,000.
He's on Snickle Fritz, mate.
He's on next to nothing. They
And
probably got Remus Smith at like a lot of value. You know what I mean? The Fox wants big money now. Well, he's walking out the door.
and
They don't pay overs, do they?
they brought in they got Nick Meaney to replace him next year. And then he's also cover at fullback
Yes.
and centre, so
And Ryan Pappenhausen's in the middle of contract negotiations now, so his next contract will be decent. His current contract would be nothing.
yeah. Nico Hines, he just signed with the Sharks for pretty good money. He'd be on Snickle Fritz now as well.
Oh, yeah, he'd be on the minimum, I reckon. So value for money up there. They're just such a good side.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see him go back to back, but again, I did tip the Roosters and Storm not to make the grand final this year. That was my bold prediction, so that looks like it's going down the drain as well.
I think it's going to be Storm Manly. I think the Panthers are going to like.
You don't give the Rabbitohs a shot. They're one win off first, which I didn't even realize. They're only one win behind the Panthers and the Rabbitohs.
Surely not.
The Panthers and the Storm. They're one win behind.
Jesus, they are too.
Which you don't really realize that, do you?
No, I didn't.
I'm not reading anything into this game against the Bulldogs for them too. It was one of those they just wanted to get in and get out. You know what I mean? And get away with the 2 points.
Yeah,
They didn't look interested.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Storm are crazy.
Yeah. Rightio. Anyway, the Panthers defeat the Warriors 30 points to 16. Warriors, I thought, were really unlucky in this one.
Yeah,
were in it. Then they lost Tohu Harris, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, among other players. But those two players, they're probably their best back and their best forward. So
yeah. Well, they lost Rocco Berry, who I thought's been pretty good in the last couple of weeks. Wade Egan had a shoulder injury. Looked like he might have come back on late, but I think they just held him off because the game was gone. I thought if everyone stayed fit, they were a red hot chance of winning this game.
100%.
That forward pass was at like a 12-point turnaround too.
To Curran.
Josh Curran.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for them, but I thought Townsend was really ordinary in this game, to be honest. Matt Lodge and Adam Fanua-Blake, outstanding. Matt Lodge played 80 minutes. Adam Fanua-Blake played 76.
Yeah.
He's starting in the front row. Adam Fanua-Blake had he had 257 meters. 123 of those were post-contact meters.
Mate, that's unbelievable. I mean,
what a forward pack. I think I was on the phone to you while we watched it. I said, this is a premiership winning forward pack.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've actually gotten written Matt Lodge and Adam Fanua-Blake's their meters as well. Like they're probably one of the best front row pairings that we've seen in a long time.
I know, and it's dangerous because Matt Lodge has got a bit of a pass in his game too, and Adam Fanua-Blake's got an offload, so they are dangerous.
Mate, Matt Lodge, I think he's underrated as
if he can stay on the field, I really like him. Tell you what, could you imagine Brandon Smith coming and playing 9 with them two? Can you imagine that?
Brandon Smith, make your dreams come true. Go play for the Warriors, please.
Anyway, I said here last week, and I said it must be hard to be a Warriors fan. Well, that would have been so much harder to watch because you're mixing it up with one of the best teams in the comp. That shows where they could be if they were consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they were winning. That's the thing. What was it, like 16-10 or something? I don't know.
It could have been, and then if they score, what is that, 24-10 or 22-10?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, good effort for the Warriors. Panthers probably happy to get away with that one. I thought Tyrone May looked a lot better. Brett Naden, he's a little bit of a psycho in the centres. He jammed Tohu Harris.
Yeah,
jammed him.
Yeah, and then he went off injured, Tohu.
Yeah. But it was nothing illegal that he did.
Yeah.
He kind of twisted his knee in the tackle, but it was just body-to-body back slam. It looked really good. They need to work on their kicking game a little bit when them two play together, I think. Matt Burton and Tyrone May. I think they need to work on their kicking game, especially their kicking game in good ball.
Yeah, for sure. Right, on to the next. Tigers defeat the Broncos 42 points to 24. Couldn't believe it. Broncos are up half time, 18-10. And then get outscored in the second half, 32 points to 6 or something.
The Broncos kept him in the game.
Mm.
They just didn't have that killer blow. I thought they looked like the better team early. Payne Haas is outstanding. But they kept him in the game long enough, and then it's like a switch went off for the Tigers. And they're like, "Oh, we can win this game."
Yeah.
And then they showed a lot of confidence in the second half. Played with the ball. Dewey at 6 looked outstanding, and then they just went on with it. What did Norfoluma had a double, and Tommy Talau both had doubles. So yeah, good on the Tigers, but the Broncos just lack that killer instinct.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Adam Reynolds probably kicks them to a win in that one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the Broncos only completed at 68%. And before the game, Kevin Walters was actually saying that he said something about the team beating the Broncos will be the Broncos.
Yeah, which is pretty much what happened. They'll beat themselves.
It's exactly because, I mean, when they did get the ball, they weren't completing. And when the Tigers were getting the ball, they had 57% of the ball, I think.
Yeah.
And we've seen this year, if a team gets on a bit of a roll, it's pretty hard to stop. So
yeah, good on the Tigers. Dewey's got to stay at 6. He has to. He's too creative, and they need points. They're not going to defend their way to victory. They've shown that they can't do it that way. So then they're going to need to score points, and Dewey is points at 6.
Yeah, well, he had 4 or 5 tries.
I think he had 5. Yeah,
5. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, on to the last game of the round. Rabbitohs defeat the Bulldogs 32 points to 24. Bulldogs were up at halftime 12-10. But then something weird happens.
Something I've never seen in my life.
Yeah, Lachlan Lewis decides to grab Cody Walker and try and body slam him. And ends up
he didn't try. He did body slam him. Yeah. He body slammed him. I thought it was the strangest thing I've ever seen on a footy field.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you reckon Cody Walker said?
Well, I was trying to watch. It didn't look like he said much. But because Lachlan Lewis was still smiling at him.
Yeah, but it's like one of those smiles, like I'll get you.
Hopefully it comes out in the next couple of days. I like what Cody said after the game. What happens on the field stays on the field. I think Lachlan would probably be in a similar mindset there. But geez, it was funny. I just found it so funny. I can imagine from Bulldogs fans' perspective, it wasn't funny because he goes to the bin and probably costs them a chance of winning the game.
Oh, 100%. 100% he does.
Anyway, the Bulldogs have found something. I think they've found just some steel. You know what I mean? Like they always played with a lot of effort last year, and I think we're starting to see that come back into the way they're playing now. Like I said earlier, they're one of the best completing teams, which is going to get you into positions to be in the game.
Yeah,
if you can hold the ball. So if they can find some polish on the end of that, who knows? Maybe they'll knock off a couple of teams going home.
That's what I was going to say because 2 weeks in a row. They went down by 6 points to the Roosters, and then 12 points or 8 points to the Bunnies, who are 3rd and 5th on the ladder. So, I mean, if they verse a couple teams a bit lower, I mean, I think they'll be winning those games,
which would be good for them. I don't really want to see them run last because I think they're a better side than that right now. I'm just quickly. I might actually have a look at their run home, and we can see if we can find some wins for the Doggies.
Pardon me. Well, they've got the Sharks and the Titans in the next 2 weeks. So they're both winnable. And then they've got the Tigers. Oh, that's pretty.
Warriors, Knights, Manly, Tigers again. So what they don't really play a genuine top 8 side apart from Manly.
Yeah, apart from it. So, I mean,
and they play no one in the top 4 for the rest of the year.
So I think it could be something a little bit similar to what we saw with the Titans last year. So how the Titans, they went on and won, I think, 5 in a row. At the end of last year. So I mean, we might be seeing a similar story there.
That'd be good to see. It'd be a good feel good story for them, especially with Gus going good things going to their team as it is. Gus is going there. Hopefully they can bring Dale Finucane to that side as well.
Oh, Dale Finucane would be huge.
They win 5 in a row. They finish on 16 points, which if no one else plays for the rest of the season, that gets them into the 8. What do you think? Yep. Lock it in.
Yeah,
Bulldogs are making the 8 in 2020.
What are they paying? What are they paying to make the 8?
there wouldn't even be a market
There's
because they
not.
can't.
There's not a market. There's not a market.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. We're gonna think of a new giveaway because the old giveaway is done. So if you have any suggestions for a giveaway, put it in the comments. We enjoyed doing that, and we're probably gonna make it a minimum $100. So we'll just work around. We'll do something. Anyway, it will probably be me beating Danny this week.
What, in the tips?
In something. I'll beat you in something. Maybe an arm wrestle.
You'll drive to my house and beat me in my sleep.
Okay. All right. So, what are you talking about?